Chelsea have added Super Eagles and Napoli forward Victor Osimhen to the club's list of targets during the January transfer window. According to ESPN, Chelsea are monitoring Osimhen, who has continued his fine form for Napoli, scoring 6 goals in 10 games after leading the team to their first Serie A title last season. It's unclear if Chelsea will submit a bid for Osimhen in January, with Napoli set to demand a fee in the region of £120 million. Osimhen has stalled over signing a new contract with Napoli after the club's official account appeared to mock Osimhen after he missed a penalty in a 0-0 draw against Bologna last month, an act that brought condemnation from the player's agent, Roberto Calenda, and a formal apology from Napoli officials. Todd Boehly's Chelsea side crossed the £1 billion mark for transfers in the summer, but the team has struggled in front of goal, with only Nicholas Jackson and Armando Broja leading the lines. Chelsea are already monitoring Brentford's Ivan Toney, who is also attracting interest from Arsenal. A report from Portuguese publication Record claims that Chelsea have now sent scouts to watch the 19-year-old in action. Diomande played in the friendly match between Ivory Coast and Morocco, and the Premier League club scouts watched his performance. The player has also been linked with a move to Arsenal, and the Gunners tried to sign him during the summer transfer window. It remains to be seen whether Arsenal will come back with an offer to sign him in the coming months. Chelsea are looking to add depth to their defense, and the 19-year-old would be a quality long-term investment. Sporting CP clearly rate this player highly and hope to tie him down to a new long-term contract. The Portuguese team is ready to insert a release clause of about €80 million into his contract after it is signed. It will be interesting to see if Chelsea are willing to pay a premium for him. They will need to find a quality, long-term replacement for Thiago Silva, and Diomande would prove to be an interesting acquisition. The opportunities to join clubs such as Arsenal and Chelsea would be an interesting option for the player, and it will be interesting to see whether he decides to sign a new contract. The €80 million release clause could be prohibitive for most clubs, and it remains to be seen how the situation develops. The Blues' struggles in front of goal have continued into this season, with the team only scoring 5 times in 5 Premier League outings. Toney, 27, is currently suspended by the FA due to breaching betting rules. However, he has recently returned to training with Brentford as the conditions of his ban loosened. Toney will be able to play again in January, and TalkSport has claimed that Chelsea could make their move for the striker then. The report suggests that the Blues are confident a deal can be done. The Bees have slapped a £60 million price tag on their star forward. It is also thought that manager Mauricio Pochettino is leading the charge to sign the former Newcastle ace. Before his ban, Toney had become one of the most prolific strikers in the Premier League. Last season he scored 20 goals in 33 appearances for the Bees as they secured a top-half finish. Toney's form even saw him receive an England call-up, and he made his debut against Ukraine earlier this year. The striker has also been linked with moves to Liverpool and Manchester United. Brentford manager Thomas Frank has previously admitted that Toney could be sold. He said, "I think every club in the world are a selling club except 5 or 6 clubs. We are a selling club if the right price is there. If they have developed with us, been on the journey, and now they're proven good enough to go to the top clubs, then I think it's the right thing. If it's the right price, I understand why there are a lot of rumors out there about him." Toney. Romeo Lavia has taken a step forward in his comeback bid, but he is expected to be sidelined until the end of November at the earliest. The Lavia midfielder is sidelined due to an ankle injury suffered in training last month. Lavia was almost ready to make his Chelsea debut following a £58 million summer transfer from Southampton at the time, but that was delayed due to injury, which left him with ligament damage. Lavia was able to remove the protective boot he wears to support his right ankle last week and begin doing rehab work in the pool, a positive development as he tries to return full physical strength. But it'll still be a while before he's ready to get back on the field and play again. Although a return in November is seen as an optimistic moment, Chelsea are proceeding with caution, which could push Lavia's involvement back until early December. Head coach Mauricio Pochettino has hinted that Belgium international Lavia is still facing a lengthy spell on the sidelines ahead of Chelsea's final game before the international break at Burnley. He said, "I can't tell you when he'll come back, but he's still not running. After the international break, he will not return." Chelsea returned to action against Arsenal on Saturday and expect striker Nicolas Jackson to feature after withdrawing from international duty with Senegal due to wrist surgery. French defender Axel Disasi and England under-21 winger Cole Palmer were also ruled out of the international squad at halftime due to thigh problems and an amputated leg. Chelsea are set to focus on growing their sponsorship revenue, with a great deal of pressure on the club's commercial and marketing departments, says football finance expert Kieran Maguire. The Blues have recently completed a deal for Infinite Athlete to appear as the club's front-of-shirt sponsor. The deal will see Infinite Athlete displayed upon the shirt sleeve of Chelsea's training kits too. That, for the moment, is a short-term agreement, though all options remain on the table according to Charlie Ebersol, founder and CEO of Infinite Athlete. After a tumultuous period which saw the West London side start the season without a sponsor, the Blues finally donned one when they faced Fulham in late September, with the women's side being the first to display Infinite Athlete in their match against Tottenham. Chelsea's agreement with 3 came to a close at the end of last season, and the club saw a deal with Paramount Plus fall through, and were put under a high degree of pressure when the prospect of an agreement with Stake.com came to light. With the front-of-shirt agreement only a short one for the moment, there is work to be done on securing a deal in time for next season, but it will not be the only area the Blues are working on. Chelsea have agreed a spate of partnerships with the likes of Hilton, Oman Air, TMGM, and others in recent months. Maguire believes that the area will be targeted to improve income, with broadcast revenues set to be more stagnant. Chelsea's owners have been clear in the past about the upside they see in the club, with the potential to transform the business. He told Football Insider, ultimately, sponsorship revenue is easy money for doing absolutely nothing as far as the club is concerned. Chelsea captain Reece James is a major doubt to face Arsenal after suffering an injury setback. The defender has withdrawn from group sessions and is training alone at Cobham ahead of Arsenal's visit to Stamford Bridge on Saturday. Mauricio Pochettino had hoped to reintroduce his star defender to full-intensity training following a hamstring injury suffered in August. James is optimistic he has avoided a more major setback, but his return could now likely be delayed. Malo Gusto is available to step in, having served a 3-match ban following his red card against Aston Villa last month. The 20-year-old returns to London on Wednesday, having made his senior debut for France during the international break. Armando Broja and Carney Chukwuemeka are also doubts to face Mikel Arteta's title-chasing side on Saturday. Broja has had a small reaction after returning from a 10-month absence following knee surgery and is in a race to make the bench for the upcoming match. Nicolas Jackson will likely start up front against Arsenal with a cast on his wrist, having undergone minor surgery. Medical staff are also assessing how to handle Chukwuemeka after he felt knee pain upon his return to full training sessions. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo are on Wednesday traveling back to Cobham after matches in South America with Argentina and Ecuador and will be assessed for tiredness upon their return. Cole Palmer and Axel Disasi are expected to recover from knocks during the international break, with Trevoh Chalobah and Benoit Badiashile soon returning from injury. Ben Chilwell, Christopher Nkunku, Romeo Lavia, Wesley Fofana, and Marcus Bettinelli remain out.